Global Gold for those that are based in America and Canada. And for those in the UK and Europe, we have Orvesta. Get yours now. Charlies.gold. Good morning, everybody. It's Monday. It's the 16th of February, 2026. And the news today is a special edition because today I've got Dr. David Cartland with me. This is a gentleman who has been attacked for telling the truth. He's been struck off as a doctor for telling the truth about COVID. And not only that, the authorities have gone after him in a way that you cannot make up. So it's my duty as a truth seeker to put his story out there so the world can see what we're dealing with on a day-by-day basis. So welcome, David. Great to see you. My heart goes out to you because you have been under attack like nothing you could ever imagine.
No, thank you. Thanks for having me, Charlie. And just to add before we get into it, really, that none of the complaints were about any negligence, clinical issues, patient involvement. It was to do with, like you say, COVID-related matters. Essentially, what I did was call out things that I saw as misinformation. For example, if I saw a doctor on TV saying that it was 100% safe to give the COVID vaccine in pregnancy, I would call that out, and I would call it out quite aggressively. Because of that calling out, I became the target of a group of trolls. I know you're probably aware of the same trolls. We've got common enemies, and these trolls are quite powerful. Not only are they anonymous, but they make a lot of vexatious reports, not only to the GMC, but also any agency around anything to do with my life, from police, children's services, and the Football Association. But we'll get to that. So yeah, I was essentially struck off for what was cobbled together as a narrative of harassment of 3 individuals, which again, I call it calling people out for lies and misinformation. You know, we can agree to disagree on that. And then I gave 5 people who came to me in emergency dire circumstances that needed to get to other parts of the world at the back end of the madness, really. It was sort of back end of 2023, really. And there weren't really any international rules, but nonetheless, the GMC found me guilty of falsifying medical notes, which is quite some accusation, considering it is actually a criminal offence to do such a thing. But the GMC were not able to even provide a copy of any of the letters, which I granted on the basis of bodily autonomy. Your body is your own. You don't need to have a forcible injection, be it a vaccine or this novel technology that they were using. And so, yeah, falsification of medical notes was the accusation. And that was it. That's all I've done. That's my strike-off offence. And meanwhile, the last few weeks I've watched doctors being let off for rape, doctors being slapped on the wrist for castrating women, doctors nipping out of the anaesthetic room and having sex with the nurse and popping back in. These are being just given slaps on wrists, or they're just being, suspended for a short amount of time. So that's all I've done. I've called out these doctors, Charlie, and here we are, struck off since October. And as you mentioned, it's led to another set of collateral encroachments into my human rights. So right now, I should be refereeing a football match. That's what I do at the weekends. I'm now banned from all aspects of football. The prelude to that was because the GMC essentially passed on the misconduct charge that they struck me off. Bearing in mind that this is an employment tribunal. There's no court. There is no criminal action here. Harassment's a criminal charge. I've even heard from the GMC that, you know, we don't do harassment. When I've tried to report a doctor for harassing me, we're a regulator. We don't deal with harassment. Go to the police, go to the courts, except they struck me off for harassment. So work that one out. I mean, I've got that from the assistant registrar. Next thing they did, DBS. They say the DBS, which anyone who doesn't know, it's the kind of rebirth of the criminal records check. So if you employ somebody, you have to check that they're not a convicted criminal. It's kind of opened out a little bit more to allow screening of people for misconduct charges related to vulnerable adults and children. So you have to have harmed those 2 groups to be on that list. So either a criminal or harmed a vulnerable adult or child. I've done neither. As I mentioned, there's no child mentioned or part of my GMC tribunal. There's no vulnerable adults involved, and there was no harm and no criminal record. But they put me on the list. I found that out this week. I'm on the criminal list, and I've committed no crime. That's the headline, really. And subsequent to that, I'm getting nudges that children's services are now going to be coming sniffing around my family life. Again, no children involved in any of this. And finally, the FA, my passion at the weekend. As I said, I should be out there now on the grass. I've just been watching the game. Unfortunately, I was granted special permission actually to go and watch the game today with my son because he was a mascot. But yeah, essentially I've been banned from, or well, not banned, that's strong actually. It's a suspension at the moment. It's a temporary suspension while the FA at Wembley investigate it, but essentially suspended from all aspects of football, including administration, including playing football. That was the worst. On Wednesday, I was told by the FA, you're not allowed to play football. No, you don't need a DBS check to play football. In fact, you don't have to have a DBS check to do open age football or veterans or super veterans, which I'd like to referee the old ones. And so even so, they've still banned me from all of these activities. Now, we're getting into human rights here now. Being on the DBS list is essentially an end of my ability to do any work whatsoever. So it goes beyond just banning me from being a doctor, which was unjustifiable in itself. It's also now gone into my leisure time, my passion. It's a hobby. I don't do refereeing, Charlie, for the money. You get 35 quid a game to be swore at by 22 overweight blokes who think they're great at football. And you get swore at a lot and called a cheat, etc. So it's not really the money making enterprise. It's the fun. So that's been took off me. And unemployability is the big one. I can't even pick myself up and go again with a different project, because any job facing anyone in the public, potentially risks having a child or a vulnerable adult. So most places now insist on a DBS check. That's where we are, Charlie. That's a story.
It's incredible. I've had the privilege of interviewing over 100 doctors while I've been doing my show. Dr. Judy Mikovits was sent to prison, an older lady, for exposing them. Dr. Rashid Buttar lost his life. What a wonderful man. I mean, I've had the privilege of talking to these people. Dr. Sherry Tenpenny, been attacked from every single angle for exposing what's going on. There are so many of these doctors out there who've done so much to try and expose them. And I said to you the other day when we were having a little chat, you suddenly realise this is a war between good and evil. And these people aren't bad. They're evil. And what they're doing to you right now is pure evil, because they're trying to destroy you. I went through it 5 years ago. They tried to destroy me. They tried everything. They attacked my family. They closed all my bank accounts. They closed everything, like even down to things like Booking.com and Uber and Airbnb, and my Google accounts and my Facebook accounts and my Instagram accounts, my TikTok and my Twitter account. Everything was closed. They went after me. Then they turned up at the doorstep. These people are evil. They're desperate. And the reason I've got you on here is because, yes, I'm older than you and I've been through it. So I can sympathize with what you're going through. And it's horrible. It's horrific. But it's important that the world knows. And I noticed the other day that you put out a petition that we all need to get people to sign. And I'm going to put the link in down below. And I want you to take that and sign it. Because David needs those people that are awake to stand up for him, because they're doing everything they can to destroy him. And if you're on the side of good, this is how you can show you're on the side of good. And if you're not, there is no fence to sit on. So I ask you to sign the petition to give David support through a very, very difficult time. There's a lot of people going through it, and I've been all over the world supporting those people that have been attacked. I've been in Brazil. I've been in Mexico. I've been all over America. I've been all over Asia. I've been through the Middle East. I've been through Europe and the UK. And we're all under huge attack because we're exposing what's evil. But I would urge every one of you, click on the link down below and sign that petition. What else can they do, David, that will help?
Find me on social media. I mean, I'm quite active now, although I was banned at one point from every platform. I run a YouTube channel, so just type in David Cartland into YouTube, where I'm interviewing myself. Actually, I'm interviewing vaccine-injured patients, and I'm interviewing NHS whistleblowers, science whistleblowers that have only felt it safe to speak out once they've left the profession. So yeah, they're the places I'm at. I've written a book called Do No Harm. You can find that on Amazon. Tells my story really of this devious, horrible doctor basically that has got these extreme views on patient safety, evidence-based practice, protecting children and pregnant women and representing the vaccine injured. That's all I've done. That's all my crimes are, Charlie. And here we are now, completely unemployable. So I need a lottery win. That's what I need.
Exactly. Well, that was the news on Monday, the 16th of February, 2026. The links are all down below. We'll see you tomorrow.
These are the facts, not put out by mainstream media. If you want to know the truth, we put out the truth every single day, Monday to Friday. Saturdays and Sundays, we spend with our families, as we should do. So if you want to know the truth, come to charlieward.com and see real news daily. And join the Insiders Club, which is live on Wednesdays and Saturdays. Oval Gold for those that are based in America and Canada. And for those in the UK and Europe, we have Orvesta. Get yours now at charlies.gold.